Hello, welcome to the PODCORN podcast. Today we talk about friendship. Today's guest is Irem. Hello, Irem. Could you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Irem. I'm living abroad for 5 years. Uh,
Mhm.
and yeah, I have good friendships, so I have too much things to talk about.
Okay. The first question is, how do you define friendship? What does it mean to be a good friend?
Um, I'm Turkish, and in Turkish we have this saying is like being a friend in the bad times, being in your worst. Uh, but I'm not exactly sure. Like friends should also the definition of friendship for me is sharing your bad days as well as the good
Mhm.
days. Because the real friend, I think, when you notice is when you have a success, when you did something great, if that person is being happy for you instead of being jealous. So yeah, like I could define friendship as a person whom you can rely on. You don't have to talk about everything. You don't have to share the same point of views, but at least like respect each other, being happy with each other's happiness, and being there all the time whenever they need it.
Mhm. Okay. The other question is, how do you navigate conflicts or disagreements within friendship?
Um, I think like when you know the other person,
Mhm.
you know what are the soft spots of themselves. uh yeah, you just like you know that that person is sensitive on that thing, or that person is not gonna be like you cannot um pursued. I think the word is like you cannot convince them, or like
Mhm.
then you just let it go. You're like, okay, fine, like like with my friends, when we cannot get out of the station, we always say, okay, let's agree to disagree.
Yeah. Okay. How have social media and technology impacted the way we form and maintain friendships?
I think social media has impacted the friendship in a good way. Uh, because like, for example, you met someone, you don't have much things in common, but you just like the person. So like nowadays, you just share your social media accounts, and like whatever they do, like whatever they post as a story, you just reply them. You just send a message whenever you need something, or like, oh, actually, what happened to me the other time? I was I was going for a holiday, and
Mhm.
I was just scrolling on Instagram. Then I saw a friend of mine is also there, like the same place that I am going to be. So I just texted her like, hey, like by the way, I'm coming, la la la. Like she was not the person that I would just call, or like, if I wouldn't know that she's there, I wouldn't ask for meeting up. But yeah, this is how it turned out. So I think it makes the communication easier, or like or you have some friends that you don't have such a friend in your life, but you maybe you have the same humor, so like you just send some funny memes, some funny reels, some TikToks, and that's how you continue with your friendship.
Okay. The next is, have you ever experienced the end of the significant friendships? And how did you cope with it?
Ah, I experienced it in a like you ask this question to a very right person. Um, I have been in stations where I just did some farewells to my loved ones, like my best
Mhm.
friends. They just gone away. I don't have them in my life anymore. We are not close friends. We are not even friends. We are not talking, la la la. So I have experienced a couple of them. How did I cope it? Actually, the other day I was scrolling on Instagram again. You know, nowadays TikTok and Instagram are the great
Mhm.
pictures for you. You just get lessons from them. So a girl was saying, you know, it's harder to have friendship breakup rather than a relationship breakup. Like when you break up from a guy, you just get over it, like because you don't have feelings anymore, or like it doesn't work out somehow, or like you just continue to like with finding someone else. But with your friends, is not the same. You cannot move on easily because that person is the one who knows everything about you. You went through such a harsh days together.
Mm-hmm.
That person you shared your happiness with, you shared your laughs with, you shared your like crying with, anxiety and everything, maybe like your depression. So I don't know how to cope with it. I think like the best solution would be just sit and talk. But nowadays is communication is not something that everybody would appreciate it.
Yes. Okay. Do cultural differences influence the dynamics of friendship?
Oh, I really like it. Actually, I think this is why I am the today myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was living in Turkey, I had my friend group, yes. In the beginning, we had such a cultural differences, but at the end, we started to become like each other. Like I had their ideas, they had some of my ideas, but we were living in our bubble, you know? I went
Mm-hmm.
abroad, I met other people, different cultures, different people, like different point of views and stuff. And then I realized, hey, like I was living in a bubble. There's another culture which everything is very normal, or the things that I wouldn't get offended, for them is very offensive. Like most likely it was the other way around. Like most likely, like for me it was very offensive, but for them it was very normal. So I think this is your way of learning things, being open-minded. Yeah, so like I love the cultural differences in friendships, because also sometimes you cannot get over, I know you cannot get out of a situation. Like for you maybe it's the end of the world, but when you're talking with another friend of yours from different culture, which means another point of view, the different perspective, and that person is like, hey, like why don't you look at from that side, and it just helps. Because I think it's good to have um different perspective people in your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you share any advice for making and keeping friends as adults?
uh Advice, yeah, I think I have a couple of them. Making some activities, like doing some
Mm-hmm.
activities together. And especially when you're adult, you don't have much financial problems. So you can just rent a place, you can go for some activities that you would both like. Talking, of course, like by phone, texting, video calls, keeping up with your life details. Yeah, voice messages and normal texting and stuff. And traveling together, I think, like, especially if your friend is living far away, just go to see them.
Okay. What is the importance of trust in deepening friendships?
I think that's the main key. I think in all kind of relationships, no, with your family,
Mm-hmm.
with your friends, with your romantic partner, with your business partner. So like trust is like, yeah. I think if you don't trust someone, that you cannot have
Mm-hmm.
like deep friendship, because like you don't know if anything you tell them is gonna be heard by someone else, or if you don't trust the person, I don't think that you can share everything with, or you can show the real face of yours. So yeah, that's mean everything actually, basically.
Yes, good. The next question. How have your friendships evolved over different stages of your life?
Oh, so yeah, when I was having my lows, the low time, I had more talking about deep stuff, how hard life is, Um, you know, like we were just having conversations long, like for long hours, discussing the things over and over again. So yeah, in that stage, that was the friendship that we had with some of my friends. And then I be yeah, I became a bit healthier. It was another era of mine, having fun and enjoying it. So we were just like
Mhm.
laughing a lot, discussing the things in our lives, what's happening funny, and just laughing it. Yeah, and it started to become more fun. And also I believe, for example, I have a friend who goes through such a tough times, but that tough
Mhm.
times never ends. Like she's always in
Yeah.
that era. And like for me as a friend, it's so difficult to cope with it. Like I cannot keep it up, like and keep with it, like mm, yeah, like because I also have needs to laugh, I have needs to talk, not the depressive things all the time. So I don't know. I think it just like it involves somehow, yeah, like in which kind of station you're going through.
Okay, the next question. How do friendships contribute to overall mental health and well-being?
Um, it has such a huge impact, I would say. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, uh, like, um, when you're not being very well, you need some emotional support. You need someone
Mm-hmm.
to calm you down. So, like in that way, friendships contribute to your well-being because they're pushing you more in a good way. They're like, hey, this is not you. It's just a hard time you're going through, but you're gonna get over it. Sometimes you just need to hear that. And yeah, like whenever you fall down, I think your
Mm-hmm.
friends are there to pull you up. And yeah, this is what the duty of a friend though. So yeah, it's like it has such a huge impact. I don't know if that is a answer for your question, but at least this is what I think based on my experiences.
Okay, this is the last question.
Mhm.
So, how do you maintain long distance friendships?
Yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. And I have been doing it for, I think, 5 years, more or less,
Mm-hmm.
but very actively, I would say 3 years. So, video calling, like we do video
Hmm.
calls very often. That I'm not super, super good at long distance friendships, like maintaining them. But yeah, sending memes to each other, which I'm also not very good at, having video
Mm-hmm.
calls, audio calls. If anything happens in my life, big things, I directly call them. I just, yeah, meet them. So yeah, I think this is the key.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much
So,
having me here.
yeah, I hope see you again
I
in
hope you.
the different
I
podcast.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I loved your questions, and thank you so much for interviewing me with these questions. Yeah, they were very, very nice. And whoever
Ah,
prepared
thank
the
you.
questions, I think it's you. Like, yeah, those were very, very good points.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Okay, so see you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.